It's time for the talking to stop and the fighting to start. This should be good. I'm Todd Grisham, and here with me, my broadcast colleague. Here we smoke. This bout, all the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
I'm so giddy, so excited. The anticipation is second to none.
And here comes the legend, Joe Frazier. Hall of Famer, all-time great. Not many fighters throw a hook like Joe Frazier. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nope, that hook won't score. Respect for each other's punching power. This slugger isn't interested in winning rounds. He just wants to win the fight. And he's not going to do it on the scorecard, Johnny. He needs a KO.
Sluggers just want to mow you down. They want to walk straight through as though you do not exist. You've got to be fit for this one.
A perfect counter lands. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
There's a counter shot. Just missed with that hook. A straight right just misses. Threw a punch and just got countered. Both men step back for just a moment. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout. On to the second round. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot. Jab. Rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Punch caught him clean. This fighter has that swarmer's mentality, taking away an opponent's reach, getting on the inside and just banging and banging and banging.
You're fighting the swarmer. Be smart, be sharp, concentrate, but you've got to be confident. Do not dance his dance, because that swarmer, once you do that, you're giving a man a chance that shouldn't have one.
Straight right just misses. A real good back and forth between these two fighters.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than that.
Both want a knockout, you can tell. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. The straight right just misses. They exchange punches. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
There's the bell to start round 3. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
It's all offense all the time. Beautiful counter punch. Nice slip to avoid the jab. She blocks the jab. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Nice counter. Does well to block that left jab. Good counter punching. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Here we go to the fourth round. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Straight right just misses. Back and forth they go. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. They'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
What you've got to do, Tony, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You've just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You've just got to put in a guess.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now, this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Counter punches have to hurt. They miss with the jab. Looking to land the hook. And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. Nice counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. That bell could not have come soon enough for this guy.
Wow, you know, I've been in fights like that.
And there's the bell for round 5. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
The old adage is no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Punch, counter punch. Here's a scoring blow. Blink and you miss it. Good thing we can watch that all over again.
I've got to see that again.
The referee deems they can continue, but this might be a big mistake.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
That hook was thrown with some bad intentions. Someone tell these two that they can be defensive for a minute if they want to. So final 10 seconds of the round, and he is looking really sharp. Well, this fighter has been down twice. They've got to up their game here, or this fight is going to be over.
There's always a way back.
There's the bell to start round 6. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible, because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
Now you've got 2 fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Good counter punch. Well, we knew this was going to happen. Some taunting. They walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
An uppercut misses. Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be... You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Game plan does not. There's the bell to start round 7. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Missing with the hook. Trying to land that jab. How about that time counter shot? Nobody home with that hook. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am.
Let's watch this again. He set it up perfectly and knocked him down.
A shot from the gods took him out.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're out.
Not many people would have predicted it, but we've got... Hope you brought your wetsuit and your flippers. We're underwater at the Atlantis. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters. This is just one of those things.
Time for our tail of the tape. Smoking Joe Frazier. Only 6 feet tall even, 229 pounds, but he hits harder than any man alive. He'll square off against Smokin' Joe. His 3 battles with Muhammad Ali, perhaps the most famous the sport has ever seen. Smokin' Joe Frazier, Philadelphia's finest in the heavyweight division.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, the Olympic gold medalist from Beaufort, South Carolina, the Hall of Famer from the golden era of heavyweights, a heavyweight champion of the world, Smokin' Joe Frazier. Fighting out of the blue corner, the Olympic gold medalist from Beaufort, South Carolina, the Hall of Famer from the golden era of heavyweights.
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
Todd, I'm going to stay here till the end of the night because if you're a fight fan like me, this is what I live for.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. Frazier's been in so many hellacious battles over the years. The trilogy with Muhammad Ali, his fights against George Foreman, a true legend. Straight right just misses. That counter punch caught him clean. A perfect counter shot. This fight has a real good flow to it. When you're training to fight a Swarmer, you've got to focus on your conditioning because they will push you to the edge of your limits.
A Swarmer, a good Swarmer, will get inside you like a bee, just pickpocket and sting you wherever you leave yourself open. That Swarmer is the worst kind of fight to fight.
Halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere, look at this. Joe Frazier is in trouble. Never count out Smokin' Joe Frazier.
Now they've got to wake up, they've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
Let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. He is down big time. Here we go for round two. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Through the left uppercut, but it misses. Swing and a miss with the left uppercut. You're not going to see a lot of finesse and skills from this guy. He wants to bury his forehead in your chest and pound away.
You are fighting the swarm, man. Be smart, be sharp. Concentrate, but you've got to be confident. Do not dance his dance, because that's swarmer. Once you do that, you're giving a man a chance that shouldn't have one.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Good counter punching. Missed him with that uppercut. Insane action. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get... And there's the bell for round three. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Defense is not an option for these two. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
Dominance without it.
Back at it in round four. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get any close.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Swing and a miss with the jab. You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Tried to score with that hook, but missed. Down goes Frazier. He caught him with that body shot, and it froze him in his tracks. Look at this again.
That's lights out right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come to me.
So they're back on their feet, but let's see how much they have left in the tank.
What resilience to be down and to be back up again.
So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. That'll be a 10-8 round. On to the fifth we go. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
There's a counter shot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
Let me explain to you about a fast fight that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have the quick burst. Boom! In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Which fighter will say no mas? Nice defense there, blocking the hook. These two were made for each other. They exchange punches. So much firepower here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they...
Let's start the 6th. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
That jab doesn't find a home. scores with the counter. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That right hook won't score. Imagine seeing this punch coming and not being able to do anything about it.
Even I've got to... 1, 2, 3, 4,
6, 7, 8.
Apparently, it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
Hard, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up from the stool again? That was a shot.
10 seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. You've got to wonder how big of a fact. There's the bell to start round 7. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle him. He's got to bluff him.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. You've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses. How do you deal with it?
When you have a fighter that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
That hook was off target. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
That hook is parried away. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Well, wait a minute. There's no way Frazier survives this. What would you tell this guy? He's got it. And we enter the 8th round. How about that time counter shot? Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
He blocks the uppercut. The straight right just misses. They're both looking for the knockouts here, and that's what we expect from heavyweights.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
to see that again. Some amazing boxing right there.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
Are you okay? Get out of there.
So time to go celebrate after a knockout win here.
A knockout victory. That is, Todd, did you see the shot? That's not a knockout. That's an assassination. What a shot.